Hi Schmoopies, welcome back to the channel. Don't click off, I've got a personal announcement and a bit of a side quest, and honestly, I need your help. I'm Ryan, a call dropout, and in this series, I walk you through what it was like growing up in a high control group and what it's been like piecing my identity back together later in life. This one's going to be relatively short, well, at least for me, and I'll definitely do a part 2. You'll know why in just a minute. So, big update. I recently got a mental health diagnosis. Yay me. Yay me. Officially. Turns out I'm mentally unwell. Just kidding. But seriously, I have a diagnosis and I also got prescribed a new medication, and I have been dying to talk to y'all about it, especially since I'm getting this diagnosis later in my life. I'm looking for some guidance, lived experiences, survival tips, anything that might help me improve my day-to-day life and function like a semi put together adult. By the way, for the newbies, I usually film this outside for the fresh air and I walk my pity pickles and gets my synapsin, but it is so hot outside. I can barely walk and think without melting. So today I'm just going to film it in here. Sorry. Hopefully next time, if the weather is better, we'll be outside together. That rhymed. Editing me could pop up some dill pickle video. I have been armchair diagnosing myself for a little while since leaving the JWs behind, and after procrastinating for a couple years, I decided to get some testing done. It took a couple weeks to get an answer, but I now have an opportunity to learn more about myself and hopefully make some changes. Shoot, there's a possibility y'all have already armchair diagnosed me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Anyway, don't be mean. So here's the diagnosis. Drum roll, please. I have been diagnosed with ADHD and OCD. So yeah, that explains a lot and confirms a lot of my concerns. It also explains many experiences, the chaos, hyperfocus, intrusive thoughts, and why in the JWs, the advice of just pray it away or pray harder is abusive. One of the reasons I wanted to make this a two-part is because I would like to share some of those experiences and symptoms that led me to believe I had challenges. Still, it hadn't occurred to me how I was affected till I began down this road of self-discovery and separating from a high control group exposure that I was exposed to as a kid. You know, as a society, we really could do much better in helping people access the support they need to live a more fulfilling life, or at least feel comfortable in their skin. But in insular groups like the Jehovah's Witnesses, mental health care wasn't a concern. You know, up until the 80s, they used to teach that demons could be the cause of any mental health issues. Yeah, I know. They're cuckoo bananas, not us. I'll try to give you more info next time, but what mattered most was your relationship with Jehovah and how far you were willing to go to prove it. What more could you do? The vibe was, if you give your life to Jehovah, you'll be happy. That translates to reading more of the Bible, praying harder, knocking on doors, preaching. And if after doing all that, you're still not happy, that's on you, obviously. I have literally seen with my own eyes, people offering Bible verses to struggling alcoholics as if that were therapy. Like that was going to solve their problem. Spoiler alert, scriptures don't help you figure out your triggers or unpack why you're drinking yourself numb. But the org doesn't want you to get to the root of the issue, because 9 times out of 10, the root is the religion. I have seen so many JWs with serious drinking problems who never get the help they deserve. It's all wrapped up in Watchtower dogma and generational trauma, spurred on by the propaganda delivered fresh to their phones daily. Over the past several years, it seems they may have softened their view of therapy, but once something has been ingrained into somebody for so long, things don't just change overnight. It's part of their culture, and that stigma is likely to persist, possibly forever. That's why in part 2, I can go into more detail about all of that and share some things I used to do for myself to cope, especially when I was at the Kingdom Hall and bored out of my mind. That's one thing the JWs do well. Remove all comfort and coping mechanisms, leaving you downtrodden, a shell of your authentic self, making you easier to manipulate. I kind of discussed that a little bit in one of my previous videos. If I have it in my mind and remember, I will pop that right up there. But you're weak-minded, so you stay stuck. I'll also get into the details about the testing and medications, give you a little dirty details since I have been taking the medicine for a longer extended period of time. I think that was just far too many words there, but you know what I meant. And more importantly, this is where I need your help. If you feel comfortable, please, this is where I need your help. Hello, listen up here. Share your recommendations for books, channels, social media content, activities, or any other resources that have been helpful in your diagnosis, or any advice that you think would be helpful. It will make a big difference for me seeing how others deal, and I guarantee you there'll probably be commenters who will also be assisted. Let me know, did you diagnose yourself too? Have you been able to get assessed? I know that in the current situation, a diagnosis is a luxury. Not everybody can afford it, or perhaps their living situation wouldn't permit it. So those of you who are enduring that, I'm talking about my physically in, mentally out, my heart is with you, and I hope that your situation can change soon. If you didn't know, people are watching right now who are trapped inside of the org, who don't have access to care that they need. Okay, so I kept this short so I could get it out quickly and get this new side quest underway, and I just keep yapping. I look forward to seeing what y'all share with me. I will respond to comments. I may also create some video responses, so if you would like a video response, let me know that. I haven't decided whether or not my next episode will be on feminism or a follow-up part 2. It's probably going to depend on how responsive y'all are. But trust me, I 100% want to have some discourse on what it means to be a feminist nowadays, or at least to me anyhow, and what feminism means as a Jehovah's Witness, because their POV is that feminism is toxic, but to them it's a threat, the puritanical viewpoint of the governing body. They're chauvinistic male pigs.
Boy boss.
They don't like women. They see them as objects. Anyway, I'd like to say thank you for your support and your love. Who knew that heathens could be such nice people? If you have any questions, drop them. I'd be happy to answer. I look forward to the next episode. So until then, honestly, I am unindoctrinated and unbothered, and you should be too. Love you. Bye. 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 Goodbye. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you.
I got so much motherfucking going on right now.